Hey, what is going on, guys? Neve here, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm actually in Cuba. It's still really early in the morning, so there's no sun right now, but maybe while we're talking it'll come up. We'll see how that goes. But today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the foundational knowledge and the foundational things that I needed to learn before I became successful, and kind of what I set in place before, all my success happened. And I think that this video is going to help some of you guys that are on their journey right now, because I feel like there are a few things you need to learn, a few things you need to internalize before you can become successful, before all this stuff happens. And obviously there's going to be people who are going to be successful without it and are going to get there without it, but I think that there are things that you can look out into the world and see from famous people and successful people that right, what they did and what kind of mentalities they have, what kind of beliefs they have before, they became successful. I've deduced this from obviously books that I've read, mentors that I've had, and just overall, learning and constant learning, right? So I'm gonna break it down into like 4 or 5 different things that I've noticed you have to do to be successful. And again, I say have to, but obviously there are people who don't do this and are very successful as well. But let's just get started on the 4 things that I think that you should be doing if you are going to be successful, and if whatever, that's stuff that will help you become successful and help you on your journey. Things you have to understand before you will actually make it, in my opinion. The number one thing that I even have right now is, whatever I'm doing, I need to know what my goals are. I need to know, and this is again very obvious. I think that a lot of people have shared this kind of things before in the past, but these are what I learned and what helped me become successful. So obviously the first thing you need to do is set goals, have goals, goals that you're going to reach. Without a target, right? Without a target, you're always going to miss. You're always going to miss, right? You don't have a target to throw at. So that's my number one thing, and that's the number one concern that people don't do, is they don't have concrete goals. Don't set goals like, I want to be successful. How do you measure something like that? You can't measure something like that. So let's put out goals that are measurable. Put out goals that you can actually see and reach and understand when you have reached them. That's the number one thing, and I hope that people take this to heart. You don't have to write down your goals, but definitely have goals, okay? A lot of people say write down your goals every single day. You can do that if you want to, but definitely have the goals and think about them every single day. Another thing, okay, comes to, hand in hand with goal setting, is determination of purpose. So you have, one singular purpose, and that is what you need to reach. You need to get to that one point, and you're so determined, so focused on it, just one sole focus on your goals. So that is incredibly important, and that ties in with our first thing, and also ties in with what I'm about to talk to you about. And I don't want this to be offensive to anyone. I don't want anyone to be offended by this, but a huge thing, okay, a huge, massive thing that helped me with my success was understanding that I shouldn't be partying. I shouldn't be going out. I shouldn't be, spending my money at the clubs that I don't have, or just staying up till 3, 4, 5 in the morning, right? There's no point for that. That stuff is, at least for me, I realized that those were my goals. That's not where I wanted to be, and that's not who I wanted to be. Okay, I wanted to be somebody successful, and I learned from reading books, which is another point. Okay, you got to read books or consume some sort of information. I learned that people who are successful, they don't do this for the most part. As a whole, they don't do that. They don't go drinking. They don't go, smoking and all this stuff, drugs and all this stuff, like in the evenings and on the weekends. That's not something that successful people do. So I decided that I wasn't going to be doing that stuff. I wasn't going to be going out. I was going to be, staying in, reading my books, learning, and going to sleep early, and waking up at like 5:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and getting my day started. Again, this is our next point, okay? Wake up early. You guys need to understand that waking up early is super, a lot of people think that a lot of people hate waking up super early and hate the fact that rolling out of bed when you're super comfortable. But guys, find some sort of purpose in your life. Find some sort of goals in your life, and you will actually never feel this way, because you'll have so much determination to reach your goals that you'll be excited when you wake up. There's a great book on it. I don't remember what it's called now, but shoot, I read it and it really helped me wake up in the mornings. I'll leave it in the description if you guys want to, grab that book. But that's the book that really helped me wake up early and actually understand the value of waking up early. And how important it really is. So that's super important. I hope you guys do take that one thing. If you take one thing into consideration, one thing that might actually change your life is waking up early. Waking up in the morning and everything falls into place after. What I notice is when you wake up early, like what I did right now. Right now it's 6:30 in the morning here in Cuba, and you wake up early. Like there's nobody here. There's nobody on the beach. There's nobody awake in life. Except for the people who are commuting to their 9 to 5 that have to commute for like 2 hours. But everyone else, they're all sleeping. So it's like you're already ahead in life. Like you're already ahead without really doing anything except for waking up early. So that's like a super awesome thing. And I think that, to experience it and to get into that habit is super important. Once you do, get into a habit like that, and you'll know what I'm talking about if you actually wake up early, or if you even try it. Don't try it for one day. Don't try it something like that. But actually make a habit of it. Do it for a week and let me know. Comment down below if you do wake up early, what you think about it, and how it does, or how you feel about it. What are you on the same page as me? Do you think that one major key for me was waking up early? So do you agree with me? So let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be answering all those and giving my opinions down there as well. But I really do think that once you do wake up early, everything kind of sort of puzzles together and fits together much better, and you do become a lot more productive. And that productivity is a huge factor in being successful. A lot of people can go to, let's say, like when I was studying and I was doing a undergrad in kinesiology, and I dropped out, like most of you guys know, in my 3rd year. But when I was doing my undergrad in kinesiology, I remember going to the library with friends and even random people and stuff like that, and actually studying and doing all this stuff. And I would notice that I would come to the library for maybe 4 or 5 hours or something like that in a day, which seems like maybe a lot for some people, but really in university that's not a lot of time to study for stuff per day. So my point was that I was meeting people, randoms, and even friends that would be at the library for like 16 hours a day, but somehow I had more knowledge, I had more information than them. And it was simply because, not because I was smart, not because I was anything like that, but clearly I dropped out, right? Like I'm not smart. So, but it was the fact that I was being way more productive with my time when I was there. People come to the library or whatever, and they'd sit there for 16 hours doing absolutely God knows what, like nothing, like talking on their phones, talking to their friends, like chilling, just like and for me that never made sense. I never understood why you'd want to just sit there and do that thing. But that's another point. It's you got to be careful when you want to be productive. What I noticed, that what that's called is called action faking. Okay, and you can fall into this action faking type scenario when you're not careful with your productivity and your time, right? If you guys don't have much time to focus on something like this, you need to be as productive as you can, right? With whatever you're doing, if you're doing Amazon or if you're doing anything else, you need to be productive with your time. So that's the one thing that also is incredibly important. Like I said, it falls into place once you do figure out your whole morning routine and waking up early and making that a habit. So be careful of action faking. You might not even know that you're doing it. That's the danger. So that's that. And like I also mentioned, reading books, incredibly important. You're pretty much learning from somebody's life. Every book is somebody's life, and all their life lessons that they learned, pretty much, right? Again, I'm generalizing, but that is a huge thing. So why not learn from other people's mistakes? That's another huge thing, right? You can make the mistakes on your own, or you can learn from other people's mistakes. And I don't know about you guys, but I think that if it took these people decades to learn these mistakes and figure this stuff out, I think that I'm pretty down to just read their book, and it's not going to take me too much time to read their book and learn all their mistakes, right? Like it's just smart, right? It'd be stupid not to, right? And when you put into that kind of thinking, you do set up a mentality for yourself that will actually build the foundational knowledge for you and the foundational mentality before you become successful. So when you do become successful, it's just going to be smooth sailing from there, and you'll be able to scale your business and you'll be able to grow from there. And just having that mentality will prove to be very, very worth it for you. Now, another thing I want to tell you guys, another, super big key about mentality is that, for me at least, when I was starting off, and even nowadays with my goals, right, there's only one thing that I tell myself, right? And it might be kind of crazy, but for me, it works, and I know a lot of other people who do it as well. But for me, the big thing is, what I tell myself is, it's only a matter of time. So for any one of my goals, for anything, absolutely anything that I set for myself, I always tell myself it's only a matter of time. The only thing that's gonna be, the only thing that's stopping me from getting this right now is time. The only thing that's gonna stop me from getting this, reaching my goals, is time. The only thing between me and that goal is just time. So once you really believe that you believe it in yourself, you believe in your goals, you have an undying belief that you will be there, you will get to those goals and those things that you need. When you actually believe it, that's when it's going to happen, right? And the only thing that's going to stop you from getting there is the actual time factor. So once you have this foundational knowledge, and once you read a lot of these books, they kind of help you set more deeper mentalities there. This is just one thing that I picked up on, and it's really helped me out. It kind of eases your nerves, it sets your focus. So it's a great thing. And again, it is, when you really believe it's only a matter of time, that's when crazy things start to happen, because then it actually is only a matter of time. So that's what I'm going to leave you guys on last, and I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, please smash that like button. Really helps the channel grow, really helps the community grow, and gets us to where we're going faster. So that's really good. Also, leave a comment down below if you have any questions, comments, or any other good stuff. I always answer all of them, and I love talking to you guys. I love kind of chilling down there in the comments. So that's that. If you guys want to join our private Facebook group, we do have one. I'll leave it in the link in the description. Join us there. Leave an intro, leave an intro, and everyone will greet you there. And I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.